Welcome to The Bible Tells Me So, a program sponsored by Starting with Jesus. I'm Miss Katie, your host today. We have Micah to read our questions. Pastor Jonathan is with us to help us find the answer in our Bibles, and Aiden will read the Bible verse for us. Do you have your Bibles ready? If you don't, you might want to go and get them so that we can find and read the answers together. Let's go ahead and get started. Our question today is from Analia. She has a question about God. So Micah, what is Analia's question?
Who created God? When did he start existing?
If you have your Bibles with you, let's turn to Colossians chapter 1, verses 16 and 17.
All right, Colossians. It's in the New Testament. You have Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, chapter 1. That's the very first chapter in Colossians. And then look under that for the verses, the little numbers. Read verse 16 and 17. Aiden, what does that say?
For by him all things were created, that are in heaven and that are on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created through him and for him, and he is before all things, and in him all things consist.
So for us, everything has a beginning. We were all born when our mothers gave birth to us. Our day begins when we wake up in the morning, even if we don't really want to wake up in the morning.
Exactly.
And for most students, the school year starts in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
So many people have wondered if God is the same way. If we look at what Paul wrote about Jesus in Colossians 1, verses 16 and 17, it says that Jesus was before all things and that everything was created by Jesus. John chapter 1 adds that Jesus, called the Word, was in the beginning with God. So God was not created, and he didn't have a beginning. He existed before anything else existed.
That's pretty crazy because we as humans, we are born, we live our life, we die. We see animals that are born, live their lives, they die. Like we have this cycle and kind of what we're used to. And God doesn't fit into that cycle. He always was. And so it's hard for us to wrap our minds around that.
All right, there's something I want you to notice in verse 16. All things were created through him and for him. This means that you were created through Jesus and you were created for Jesus. In other words, Jesus made you for himself. So whenever you feel like you're not important or no one cares about you, remember that you are special to Jesus.
Yeah, that's so true. It doesn't matter how we're feeling. We are special to Jesus. He's the one who cares for us. He's the one who loves us. He's the one who created us. And he wasn't created, but he created us. And so that's pretty neat. That was a great question, Analia. Thanks so much for it. We are so glad that you joined us today. If you want to find more programs like this, go to our website, startingwithjesus.com. And we want to remind you to start each and every day with Jesus.